Welcome back to our shows. We have Teh Tarik Hours with Azreen.
That's me.
Ah Kit.
That's him.
And two guys is talking some stupid nonsense today.
Yes, you're right. Well, first time, usually I do the intro because
I
I usually set the timing and everything. This time I can do the intro. How do you guys feel? Do you enjoy Akid's intro? If you do, maybe we will allow him to do more.
This is the anything.
Change, right?
Okay.
Sometimes like that. So how you? Oh, sorry again.
Again.
Last episode, something fell down. If you saw it, let us know what it was. We're back again for another stupid topic. But today's topic is much more stupider.
More relaxed, I can say. It's more relaxing.
Not so serious.
Not so serious, and then we are just come for the...
I think we should put the warning there. This is just our personal opinion, okay? Our personal experiences. It doesn't necessarily reflect what is actually true, alright? So if our opinions may be considered wrong, don't say like, oh, these guys are so stupid, they don't know anything. We admit, we don't know. Maybe our experience is considered limited.
Maybe a certain path of group of people is like that.
Maybe our perception is wrong there. We are here to...
Okay lah. Later we put the helmet lah. Now we are go for people to let the people know what these two guys is talking about.
Okay, so right? The topic for today, if you see the topic title, you already know. We're talking about the difference between dating or girls in Malaysia and datings and girls in Singapore. Well, not just girls, dating in boy-girl in Malaysia and boy-girl in Singapore. But of course, it's more towards girl because we are both straight guys who only date girls. So unfortunately, our opinion is very limited towards the women in our experiences there. So basically, this topic came about because I was talking with Ah Kit. It was like, I never actually dated anyone from Singapore before, so my perception of what is Singaporean dating life or dating Singaporean women might not be reflective of what is actually the people there.
So your perceptions for Singapore girls, it's the image, and then
I think like my image is very, very. It was very created towards online and then like popular media. So and also like old passed down ideas passed down from people who say things . So my initial perception of girls in Singapore is that they're much more materialistic. That means they see money more than they
poker face.
Jaga muka and for them like living a luxurious lifestyle is important for them, and being able to provide that is much more important than say maybe your worth as a character as a person. But then I have to preface this by saying that this is just my perception of what popular media tells me. Probably not all Singaporean girls think like that. It's that most of the time I see in the surface is that all Singaporean girls like to party. They wear all this luxurious clothing. They go buy all this luxurious brand. All this thing. And that is my general perception of like what majority of girls in Singapore is like. And this is like regardless of race personally for me. Whereas to compare in Malaysia, and at least I have some experience there. Like there
some experience
some there I feel like there's much more variance in terms of like people what their expectation of you are. Not all people. There are materialistic people here in Malaysia as well. But oftentimes you can tell like this type of person, they see like if you got a car or you got a house.
More varieties, I can say Malaysia.
For me at least my experiences that I managed to variety and some may be more conservative. Maybe they focus on family. Some maybe like they are much more open relationship. So for me, at least in my experience in dating, or at least with women in Malaysia, is like I've managed to encounter a variety. Now on your part, I think you are much more able to give better insight.
Yeah, not say lah, because I were living and working in Singapore before, and then I also got a lot of Singaporean friends, and then I can put my little comments lah. It's not say all the people as like my friends or my group of friends, the people they, because Singapore, actually Singaporean people, Singapore lah is a very little island. It cannot compare with Malaysia, right? If let's say for girls or for women or for peoples lah, Singapore is a city. You say in like KL also is a city. It's like say very realistic or very poker face or whatever money mindset people. Even in KL also same, because the people who are living in city and Singapore is almost the same, even so women or men. But if let's say some people are living in other places like I live in Sabah or Sarawak or don't say East Malaysia, maybe it's Kelantan or other Kuantan, this kind of places, countryside lah. The people are thinking also different compared with KL or compared with some place in Penang.
So basically you're saying it's like Singaporeans, it's more like the mentality is city people mindset.
Yeah, city people mindset lah.
Does that mean that a lot of there's not enough Singaporean that represent the more like relaxed mindset of like Kelantan people or East Malaysian? Do you think that those type of people don't exist in Singapore, or is it just like?
Okay, if let's say someone's like, maybe like, and the people who are from Kuantan who are working in Singapore, slowly there will be change the mindset, and then they become a part of the Singapore. They are really gel to the Singapore culture to become a Singaporean, like those kind of attitude and behavior. Because I believe in someone is living in the cities, you do the rentals and everything expenses. Become you, I will change your mindset and then become more realistic and more those kind of people. And because your surrounding is those kind of people, ma.
Okay, I want to ask you this, right? Because back in the day, right? I don't know if you remember this. Singaporean had the 5 C's. You remember?
5 C's. Yeah, I remember.
Cash, condo.
That one is very old
car,
generation, bro.
something, right?
Our generations lah.
But is that thing applicable still?
I believe in Malaysia can. Yeah, of course, one.
Is that because like I think that originally for me, at least I heard it from Singapore first, lah. Am I right?
Yeah.
Do you think in Singapore does the 5 C's is still considered a goal for
it's
them?
still, I think it's still the standard. I mean, maybe
so
more
if,
higher.
If you are a person looking for a partner, right, is that the requirement you think they still need to achieve?
For me,
like, your opinion, like do you think like that Singaporeans still have that?
I think Singaporean they have. This is a very basic thing for them.
Do you think that's basic or is
not
that
say
materialistic? Isn't it?
Don't say condominiums, but for especially Chinese. I mean, now I come to one race, Chinese. Even in Singaporean Chinese, you know what? They can do the HDB together after the marriage. Okay? This is very important. But for Malaysians, they cannot do the HDB. For Malaysian, especially KL Chinese, they have the condominium or the housing before the marriage. Before the marriage. This is more serious in KL also, compared with the housing. Yeah,
but that's like you're specifically talking about KL though, right? If you maybe like live in Kuantan or something like that, is that still the same mentality?
Kuantan. I don't know the Kuantan people, bro. But I still believe the parents who are encouraged for Chinese so
I mean like in that case it's like this is just a normal for all kinds of. Okay, we're just talking about girls because that's just
yeah, I run a topic already.
For us it's like, okay, if you are tackling a girl now, do you need that 5 requirement, you think?
Okay. The 5 requirements. Okay, the first thing, you go to tackle the girl or pick up the girl. What's the priority you want to? The girl will look at you. Maybe you want to go for buy her a very good dinner, good dinner, and you get some luxury car who will fetch him. This kind of thing, right?
Is that I used to believe that was the case, right? But then now I realize it's just that is fed to us in order to showcase that our ability as a man, because women nowadays are much more independent. They're much more capable. Back in the day, like why is it the case that women need a man who has like high paying job, a good car and a bungalow and everything? Because women weren't able to find their own job and pay for themselves and earn by themselves. Nowadays, that's not the case. Women now can get high-paying jobs.
Yep.
They can afford to get a car. They can buy all this.
Yeah, correct.
So when they have that security, is it that thing still required to find in a man?
This is very deep questions for
I
me.
mean, it's interesting to think because, like, for me, like, at least in my personal opinion and my experiences, like in Malaysia, at least, like, I think women don't necessarily need to see that in a man that has like, he has a Toyota car, a condominium, at least 1 million in the bank or anything like that, because she doesn't need to have that safety. She can take care of herself. Rather, she wants to find a partner that can be understanding or share similar goals or like that.
This is very personal. Seriously, this is very personal things. No matter in Singapore also or Malaysia, KL, they have a lot of different type of people, ma.
But do you think like, I don't know, this is just me saying, I don't know if it's true or not. Do you think like Singaporeans are more likely to focus on that level of material safety or standard? Like, if I want to date, I need to make sure this partner at least has a car, at least has a condo, at least has.
I don't think so. Even Singaporean also not. I don't think so. They kind of they have this kind of standard to choose their partner. The basic for the women who are choose the partner, at least I'm the woman. I'm not spend any money to you. I mean, I'm not pay for your living. I can say I'm not pay for your living. You can pay your own self, your living standards now. I can see your living standard. I'm not pay single cent for your living.
Do you feel like nowadays like Singaporean is that level of equal level thing? Like they see like each other as like,
yes.
We can take care of each other. We can take ourselves. No need to depend on each other.
Okay, I'm looking for other perspective of view lah. You see for Singapore women, maybe they say okay. We go for a dinner, a good dinner. I can pay for my own dinner.
Okay, so that's an interesting scenario.
Yeah.
Right? But traditionally, you would expect the man to pay for everything and the woman would expect the man to pay for everything. Do you think at this point we've come, at least for Singaporean, do you think there come point like, we can split. It's okay. This is a very normal thing to do.
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah. Some people, the women are willing to pay, they split the bill.
So you feel like today's women are more comfortable to do this, right?
Yep. But in Malaysia, the different one. In Malaysia,
do we still have that mentality that men has to pay everything?
Yes.
I think it's also depend on who you, because like, at least as far as I can. Well, then again, like
this is very hard to put the line there. You know,
I still pay for all the thing because I don't know. It's just my personal thing that I want. I feel I have to pay.
Yeah, you feel like you that things you more gentleman is like I pay for this, I go for this.
But when you think about it, it's like you undermine the women also.
But for dating, it's very hard to say when the first day, the dating, you know. If let's say for living, then different. Then living is.
But that's like partnership already, right?
Come to living, this is house to belong both of us. Then maybe say I pay half of it, you pay half of it. That one is very more to calculative. I can say Singaporean girl is more calculative, in sense of calculative.
But like calculative as in like calculative in a bad sense or in a good sense?
Good sense or bad sense also have lah.
So it's like a balance of both lah. Because I feel like when you say calculative, it feels very negative, right? Like this person very calculate everything like everything needs to be quantified or something like that. But at the same sense, it's also very realistic because like we need to calculate things also because you need to know how much you put in, how much you put out also, right?
Yep.
So there is like when you say calculative, it feels kind of like Singaporean. That's where the perception of very materialistic because they calculate everything, right? No. Like that sounds very materialistic. Like, oh, everything also need to calculate. You want to curate everything, man?
Seriously, come to the scenario, then you know. Yeah, hard to
Hard,
hard to explain.
Honestly, this sort of topic is supposed to be lighthearted.
You have to go to the scenario, you know.
It's like a bit serious. Like, you want to find a partner. It's like you need to be like this, like this, like this.
But for sure, for your opinions lah, Singapore girl is more open mindset, more open minded for sex or for others. What do you think?
I think right. The appearance is much more open for Singapore.
Yep.
Compared to Malaysia. At least in Malaysia, the appearance is much more conservative.
I absolutely agree.
Right.
I absolutely agree. You know why? Because Malaysia here, we have some like the Muslim restrictions, I can say.
You need to show the face that you are very...
Not say you show, you can't... I wear singlet go for the Pasar Malam. You see, wow, so weird. This girl go for Pasar Malam wear like that. But in Singapore, it doesn't matter. I go Pasar Malam.
But here's the thing, right? Okay, so these people who say, oh, look at this girl. She wears short shorts. And
go short.
Wow, so terrible. But I tell you, this same person go back home and play the bird one.
No, because the culture is different. The girl, they were wearing the appearance in the Pasar Malam.
Wait, something happened just now. I don't know what happened. But we'll see later on.
I don't care.
Okay, so sorry. You were talking about like right.
The appearance.
The appearance here, right? Like people here are much more criticizing of women, at least in terms of how they appear, right?
Yeah, but for Singapore, I don't care because I wear just a singlet or whatever. Then I feel comfortable to wear to shop. Pasar Malam is okay, but here a lot of restriction lah, and got some politician they use this as a tool and go for the some things lah. So maybe make the people who are I want to avoid the voice from there. Maybe I just wore a very simple shirts and then the short pants for girls lah, especially girls lah. Then go out, then it's okay lah.
I think like at least it's what I can tell from Singapore lah. They're much more progressive in terms of like women's autonomy. Okay, so it's not like a lot of people will be going around and criticize you for wearing very maybe in a sexy way lah. They are much more open in terms of sexuality.
Yes.
Discussing there, like the acceptance there lah. Now, does that mean Singaporean women are much more like easy to tackle, meh?
Easy to tackle?
I don't think so, right? That's not the case necessarily, right? It's just that they're much more willing to conversation in terms of like that level of open discussion compared to Malaysia lah.
I think because okay, open discussion is one of open discussion is like okay, I'm not avoid the topic sex whatever topic. I can talk to my friends or even we can have a discussion. But in Malaysia here, maybe we cannot do this, right?
It's still considered a taboo topic, is it? You feel?
Yeah, I feel some like it's a haram lah.
I guess it depends also again like who are you interacting with. I'm assuming like again for my experiences, at least the people that I've have experiences with are fairly open to discussion of sex, right? Now, does that mean they're easy? No, not necessarily.
Even you mean in Malaysia, not say every girl you're easy to tackle, and then this
easy to tackle is also it's not really a good explanation, right?
Tackle, right? Very hard to judge, you know. Easy to tackle. You see Singapore girl easy to tackle. Malaysia
also,
girl,
you can easy tackle. You just throw money. Maybe some girl is like that, right?
Yeah, throw money. The level to the tackle, or maybe the for the life partners, then this one different story maybe.
I think as guys, right, it's like we can't really say that the women is just one type anymore. Or at least our perception.
It's not the product, man. Right?
Because last time we were taught like, oh, women is just see money, see face, that's it, right? Like that.
No, because our mentality different.
Yes, that's what I'm saying. Our programming is last time is that women only see money or see face. This thing, right? when in fact it's women are human just
And
like
that
us.
one is girl. I can say it's 60 years old girl, and then the 25 old woman's girls is different mindset also, ma. 50, 16, the time maybe the girl says, oh, you got a face, got a money, maybe I can, it's easy to pick up. How I know?
I mean, yeah, there is like,
I mean, the matured women, they want to see a lot of things, right? They want to see your mentalities, the people, nice people. Even you are very handsome guys. Oh, maybe you're just a
terrible person.
psycho people.
Psycho people.
How I know?
I mean, okay, like, in terms of like dating, right? Is the Malaysian girls considered a more open in terms of like mix?
I want to say so. Malaysians
Or Singaporean is more open to mix.
okay. I want to do some.
This is something I'm quite interesting to know lah, actually.
Okay. This is very, I think it's sensitive or not sensitive lah. Okay. I mean Singapore's no matter it's Malay, Chinese or Indians, okay, they are quite equally. Even you are Malays or Chinese. For me lah, this is for me, my opinions
You don't feel like there's still
you have a board.
You're talking your personal experience, your personal opinion first.
Yeah,
okay?
personal opinions. No matter I talk to Malay or talk to Chinese, I treat them as a Singaporean.
Okay.
I treat them as a Singaporean in these three races, even the Indians. Yeah, we have a common language. We are speaking English, and then we are common things. But come to Malaysia, I come to speak to I with my Chinese friend different, and then the Malay friend also different, and then Indian friend also different. The diversities in Malaysia we have.
But okay, we have the diversity, but is the diversity connected? That's what I'm trying to say. My thing is interracial partnership. Like Malay marrying a Chinese or Indian marrying a Chinese in Singapore.
Mm-mm.
How is that perception there? In Malaysia at least, right? I start to see a lot more interracial couples nowadays.
Yes.
At least in my just like just a quick look lah. I see nowadays a lot more interracial couples. Now, interracial marriages, I don't know if that's still considered normal. I think it's still considered special in Malaysia at least.
I mean, in Malaysia it's normal. Even Malay with Chinese or whatever lah. The thing is, like, okay, we can still call the restrictions on the religions.
That's the thing.
Yeah.
I feel like that's the
this
key
is the
point.
border, the key point here.
But that kind of like conflict there is because of the religion. Okay.
Yep.
So there is a reasoning why people are against interracial marriages, because like if you're Chinese and you have a Chinese daughter marrying a Malay guy, the perception is that, oh, you lost your daughter to a religion or something like that, is it?
Yeah.
That kind of perspective. I'm not sure if that's still the case
Okay.
for a lot of people.
It's a very one of the examples lah. You see once Singaporeans, the ladies, Malay lady who are married, the man, the Chinese guy, they are not necessary the Chinese guy to convert to the Muslim. Not necessary. So that's make the Chinese people's, I can marry the Malay
Without concern, right?
without concern the religions, the
Yeah, I
conversion.
guess it's a similar kind of like Indonesia, where it's like you don't necessarily have to convert in order to get a marriage certification.
Yes. So this is because in Singapore they have a no religion. Even you are Christian, you are with a Malay girl. I'm not necessary that one. Maybe Christian they have a certain regulation. You have to convert to Christian to become to go for the church marriage. Okay, then you are convert. But if the Christian guy, really love the girl, never mind. I don't want to convert my girls also can. Then just go ahead with the girl. Then doesn't matter. And then this is not under the law. In Singapore, I don't have any law to force you to convert to Christian. But in Malaysia, different.
Yes, there is the law that like if you're marrying a Muslim, regardless of which side are you on, you have to convert to Muslim because
Yep.
otherwise it wouldn't be registered as a official marriage. You wouldn't be seen as a couple, lor. So that's I think that's like the issue still when it comes to interracial couples and interracial partnership in Malaysia, lah. But that animosity comes from them. Is Singapore, when they look at interracial couple, is the perception still considered like looked down, or is it accepted, or is it like, encouraged? What's your opinion there? Like for me, like I read a while back that some interracial couple from Singapore still face like prejudice or something like that lah, because like two different couple, like I remember Indian and Chinese girl, Indian guy and Chinese girl couple walking at night. Suddenly this Chinese guy suddenly come to them and scold the Chinese girl for dating a Indian guy, and then saying like, oh, the Indian guy is stealing the Chinese girl, some kind of like that. But is that the exception, or is that still considered the normal there?
Me in Singapore. I don't know this case.
I mean, this was in 2022 or something like that, 2021 lah. But when you walk around, you've been to Singapore recently, right? When you walk around, do you see cases? Do you see a lot more interracial couples compared to like back then?
I think this is very hard to tell, but I got friends who are married as Indians or Malay also have lah. This is my group of friends, but this is not
doesn't represent the entire country, right?
No, yeah.
It could be like you are the exception,
Exception is actually in Malaysia. I also accept, but if let's say you are Malay, you married you married with the Chinese girl, but the Chinese girl is not willing to convert to Muslim, then what do? Seriously, I just run away from
what happens
Malaysia.
To a lot of Malaysians, right?
No, they run away to go to Australia. No,
it's not just for girls, maybe like you're a gay couple. You're more likely to go to Singapore or to Australia or what to live your life rather than living in Malaysia, right? Because that is a serious fact to consider, isn't it?
Because you see, Malaysia here, I know someone's also I falling in love with my partner, my soul partners with other races. For sure, in Malaysia you can see a lot of people. Their view.
I mean, we remember that movie Sepet of like the Chinese guy and Malay girl. Of course, they never managed to do to become an actual partner because the society in Malaysia, at least at the time, wouldn't accept it lah.
A lot of movie they are showing is Malaysia, the Chinese and Malay. Actually, Chinese and Malay, we can say we live in the same piece of land. Of course, the culture are a bit of different, but the way we go for the school, we learning, all is the same. Maybe the language is different, or the family is different. Of course, we are falling in love with someone. Is like I also got last time I also Malay. I mean, Malay school, kebangsaan school, man. Of course lah.
Yeah lah, national school lah, basically. I mean, in terms of like dating between like different races in Malaysia, I still think on the top level, it's still not widely accepted. At least for like more conservative state lah. You maybe KL or PJ, all this is much more open lah, more progressive lah. But compared to Singapore, I would assume lah, the entirety of Singapore is just like they wouldn't really mind so much.
Yeah,
right?
I don't think they mind the race.
Unless you're really racist or something like that.
Yeah. Because it back to 1918, the time, Malaysians, like, we are... Okay lah, we go for East Malaysia lah. They're both... this is the other topic lah, okay? Today we talk about girl,
I mean, not just... Well, actually now we've gone beyond girl, actually. We're talking about, like, relationship and, like, all this kind of thing between Singapore and Malaysia kind of thing. And, I mean, it's an interesting comparison here because, like, again, we keep saying this, that Singapore is the closest thing to Malaysia and there's no two other countries like it. Like, there's no other countries that's similar to us, I guess. Right. So that's why like the differences, the major differences, despite being so same, is interesting to me lah.
Maybe you can say, we are the brother and sister, Singapore and Malaysia, but Singapore is more progressive, Malaysia is more traditional.
Could be.
This is the conclusion.
Let's go to more fun thing lah. Okay. Assuming I know you're married already lah, but this is the situation lah. Imagine you are still solo. Okay.
Solo.
You're 20s.
Single.
Still in your 20s there. Would you tackle a Malaysian girl or Singaporean girl?
Okay, for now I'm 20s, but my mind already 14s, you know. You will say I will look for some soulmate, a soulmate or soul partner. Of course, if you want to look for, it's not just the nationalities. If let's say you want to go for fun and go for, it's very hard to define which country the girls you look for. Of course, I want the girls' appearance to look nice.
I mean, okay, we appearances is subjective, like
your parents. Okay, appearance. If let's say I'll go for appearance, a nice one. Maybe the Singaporean girl is the time lah. The Singaporean girl is when they are more sexy. Then you will attract. You catch your eyeball.
Yeah, I mean that's
this is the thing.
Like, okay, here's my personal thing is like I have a unique thing lah, right? I don't like, not say don't like lah. I'm not attracted to women wearing tudung.
Don't attract.
No. Like if I see a person, right? Okay, let's say this girl wearing a tudung and the dress okay, and there's a other girl not wearing tudung, hair flow and normal, right? For me, right, if I see the tudung, I'm like, this one, I'm not interested already. It's a weird thing for me because like when I see tudung, it reminds me of like the strictness of culture and religion.
Yeah.
So for me, right, if you were to ask me, Azreen, would you go for tackle Singaporean or Malaysian girls, right? Singaporean in terms of like appearance, at least they are much more free. So more likely I will go for Singaporean girls in that basic level, right? Because like in Malaysia, like there are more girls wear tudung and I'm like, not really my thing. A very terrible person actually.
No, this is because the tudung is already they already block the pretty of the woman. I don't know.
No, for me, like it's not about the pretty because like I can still appreciate the beauty of a woman in wearing tudung. I think they can be very beautiful women. It's just that when I see tudung, it reminds me of the thing, the ideology, the belief, the expectation of a tudung.
Hey, not just the tudung, bro. Not just the tudung. If let's say for girls, I wearing just a very normal shirt, t-shirts, and then just a normal shirts and a long pant, and then one sexy girls and wear the singlets and very pretty and the whole makeup and everything and high heel. Definitely your eye will catch the one who are wearing a high heel and then the sexiest one. I mean, surely one. This is a very man mentality, But of course, you see the girls who are wearing a t-shirt, big t-shirt, and then nothing. I mean,
that's just how you perceive yourself as sexy. I mean, you can get your attention, but are you attracted to it? That's the difference, I think. Like for me, right, even the person wearing like tight clothing, and tight dress, you can see the body line, the S line, everything. You can see the boobs there. But she wear the tudung. For me, it's like,
got this kind of got me.
You never see the tudung girls wear the very tight clothing, You imagine, okay? She wear a very tight dress, You can see the figure, the butt and everything.
What the purpose of the tudung? Actually, the tudung is
I mean, again, it could be a belief for them. Like they still believe like maintaining that tudung is a necessary part of their identity. And I'm not saying it's bad. It's just that when I see that, I understand that kind of like what is what it represents for you to wear that tudung. So for me, when I see the tudung, even though the person is like, wow, body is sexy, but and wear very tight dress, but where the tudung is like, oh, you can be attractive, but I'm not attracted to that. And maybe I would see more like the girl who's not wearing tudung, but like she wear just a normal t-shirt and normal clothing, and like that would be much more appealing to me lah. So that's why Singapore, I feel. Even though I never dated a Singaporean before. I don't know lah. Like, honestly, do we really consider like there's big differences between Singaporean and Malaysian girls?
Majority, yes. You can see because we are doing the populations not all the, because Malaysian girl is still got wearing tudung, right? But majority Singaporean is not wearing tudung. This I can see. Even Malay, they're not wearing tudung.
Maybe I should go to Singapore.
Definitely, because you do the majority. We not just we are select the Chinese group of people or select of the Malay group of people.
Yeah, maybe
the comparison is a whole Malaysian and the Singapore man.
I mean, but the thing is, right, the beauty of Malaysia is that we are so diverse that I don't mind living in a world that there are women who wear tudung and there are women who don't wear tudung. It's just that the enforcement of that.
You can play around. You tackle that time when we young, we can not wearing tudung. After maybe 60 years old, 70 years old, yeah, you better wearing tudung.
That is different entirely altogether, because like you would at that point, yeah, I hope lah, you as partners, you will understand each other and why you made those decisions .
But because from the when people who are falling in love, and then that time
people change lah, of course.
That time maybe where everything we want the prettiness, and then the elegance, everything is very romantic or very. But after few years, the marriage, maybe after marriage, that
Things
one change. Still not say so strong with this. Maybe it's we are still wearing.
Wow. I think we are go too deep already in the future already. It's supposed to be a light topic one actually. I just want to say, is Singapore girls prettier than Malaysian girls or something like that? But of course,
but seriously, I don't think Singaporean girls pretty the face, the features all the features I think Ipoh girl is more the feature.
Ipoh Mali
Ipoh Mali. Don't know Ipoh. I prefer Ipoh.
I think we future episode we should do ranking the girls in each state.
You think Ipoh girl is a lot of those the pageants from Ipoh, you know.
Hey, but we have that song Siapa Kata Gadis Melayu Tidak something. Who say Malay girls are not pretty? I
don't say Malay girl is not pretty, because I want to see Malay girls pretty, because Malay girls, a lot of Malay girls quite pretty, because the tudung, the destroyed.
Wow, destroyed. Don't use that word. That's not good, bro. That's not good, bro. I mean, there are different people have different attractions. That's we should end it on that. Whatever your taste, your preferences is, we are not here to judge, here to shame.
Yeah.
It's just that to admit that we have our own preferences. So.
Our own opinions, and because
so don't take it too seriously. I do feel like people will look at this. These guys are very misogynistic. Don't or look down on women or this kind of thing. But actually, our discussion surprisingly a lot more deep than I expected.
More serious. I thought it's very funny topic. In the end, it's very serious.
Yeah, it's funny. We want to talk serious topic, but end up funny. But we want to take funny topic, become serious. Okay I think we will end this topic, even though we never really reached to the proper conclusion there. We hope you enjoy our discussion about the differences between Singaporean and Malaysian girls.
I want to listen some story, maybe the Singapore girls who are married to Malaysian guys, or Malaysian women who are married the Singapore man. And Singapore man, what's the Singapore man's the reaction? Is it the good man in Malaysia or more good man in Singapore? How we know?
Who knows? I mean, you can share with us
comments.
If you have that experiences. We would love to read about it. Maybe it can be the topic discussion in the future. Who knows? So yeah, if you enjoyed this episode, don't forget to share, like, subscribe as always, and we'll see you guys on the next episode.
Thank you. Bye bye.